I don't think it's firing.
My name is the Airsoft Preacher. Holy shit.
I am on a quest to visit as many different fields in the southern U.S. as I can. And on the docket for tonight is going to be Summertown Airsoft, located in the picturesque hills and valleys of central Tennessee. Now, first allow me to add a disclaimer. I'm not making this video with any kind of malicious intent. I want Summertown as a business and as a field to succeed and do well. This video will accurately and truthfully represent our experiences at Summertown, showcasing both the positives and negatives of the field staff and experience, in full light that we were only there for several hours. Summertown is one of the fields of all time. It took us about an hour and a half to drive there from Huntsville. Closer than Nashville is, I will note. Most people have a few questions looking to get answered when they're going to visit a field. How big is it? What kind of structures does it have? How much will it cost me? What's the player base like? I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. Now let's get this out of the way. I am a speed softer. I'm the kind of guy who unironically buys guns that look like this. That's what I've centered my playstyle and my gear around. It's evident in the kinds of guns I have, in the equipment I buy, in the music I listen to. Summertown is moderately speed friendly. Now, what I mean by that, some of the regulars there were speedy boys themselves. In fact, I think one of the rest was as well. Don't quote me on that. And in fact, at least one of them had been banned from our home field, Doomsday, for being a little bit of a dick. Video right here. I can actually see it. You can. Anyway. Summertown does not allow automatic fire in public play. No matter what kind of gun you have, and no matter what jewel you're shooting, or what you are chronoing at. You can, however, feather, which is the fantastic part about a gun like this. Summertown also does not have strict rules on minimum engagement distances. None of the guns I chronoed, and I chronoed two, had a ref tell me, hey, you have to be 10, 15 feet away from someone to shoot them. That's one gripe. How friendly are they to speed softers on a scale of 1 to 5? 3.5. They didn't single us out because we wore dye masks. They didn't single me out because I had a tank attached to my gun. So they don't discriminate based on how you look. We're making progress against speed soft racism. The crowds were fairly sized, in the mid to high 20s. Think like 26, 28 people at the most. The majority of those players were rentals from what I understand was some kind of church function. Contrary to what you might think about rentals, they did a fantastic job. They were playing very aggressively. They were shooting a lot. They're shooting me a lot. Well, they're shooting at me. They didn't hit me because I'm that fast. Gameplay of this field on YouTube was rather minor. There wasn't much of it, and what was there didn't give me a fantastic idea of how the field was sized, and how we'd have to play it, and what kind of structures were there. Summertown is indeed a small field. In fact, it only takes about 2.5 minutes to walk from the close spawn chrono to the far spawn, which is the big old log wall. With a field being this small, spawn camping is a necessary evil. That's an unfortunate fact. I don't like that being the way it is, but it is the way it is. What are you going to do about it? The structures and barriers of this field were placed conveniently and in an interesting manner, making for exciting gameplay. I particularly enjoyed the inside of the moving van. I liked the slide in the complex of buildings. That was very fun. I liked the slide. The meth RV, more on that later, all led to an adaptation to the way I normally play. I'd give the field a 3.5. It was exciting but small. The rules are what you'd find at any outdoor field. Nothing special or unique aside from the feathering rule, which was it wasn't really a challenge midway through the day. We had to ask the refs to split teams up better because it wasn't all like too interesting the way they were doing it. Now, one thing about rules is chrono rules, which the refs hardly went over. So remember how I said I had 2 guns I wanted to chrono? I had a Wolverine Oracle 1, fantastic gun, great gun, and when I went to chrono both of those guns, both of them shoot at partially built out EMG Sand Viper. Nothing was showing up on the chrono. Chrono was blank. The ref was not doing anything to actually measure the joule at which I was shooting, which I had chronoed later and found I was shooting like 1.15, which is more than I'd prefer to shoot someone with, feathering relatively close. That's a failure on the ref's part. Ref, do better, okay? Get a good chrono. Don't let someone shoot it out and actually chrono them, okay? Good. The rules get a 3.5. Nothing special. Except for the refs. Refs are kind of special. How much does Summertown cost? It only costs about $25 for a field fee. And if you so choose to bring an HPA tank, you'll have to pay a $5 fee for a one-time fill or $10 for an all-day fill. Naturally, I went for the $10 off all-day fill. And it takes about all day to fill up your tank. When you go to the staff of a field and say, hey, I want you to fill up my tank, they're going to take it, they're going to hook it up, they're going to fill it up, hand it back to you. That takes no more than like 15-20 seconds. That's the most it should take. Because they're taking from a compressor to an air tank to your tank. Summertown does something very weird. Okay? They go straight from the compressor to your tank. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's safe. And it takes several minutes to fill up one tank. I filled up 2. That fucking sucked. I did not like that. I don't want to wait 5-6 minutes for my 4,500 tank to get filled up. That's kind of bullshit to me. On cost for the $35 I paid, I got my money's worth. I just won't be heading back regularly. We were on Summertown's property for about 5.5 hours, something around there. We played, from my memory, 6 games. Let's do a little math. We play 6 games in a 5-hour period. Okay, that's being conservative. That is like 1.2 games per hour. The games were about 15 minutes long. A little bit of 4th grade math will tell us that is like 25% of time spent on the field, on their property, actually playing a game, which I paid, again, $35 to play. And again, my math may not be perfect. I don't have exact numbers on how long we were there. But that is, rough estimate. The time played brings us to a discussion of the lovely, lovely refs, the special refs, as I like to call them. They're a little bit special. Midway into the day, about 1 or 2, the refs announced, we would be taking an hour-long lunch break. Now, since we only played, like, maybe 3 games at that point, an hour lunch break is kind of bullshit, especially when the break in between games is already almost a fucking hour. An hour is a bit too long to wait in between games. Even if you're going to have a lunch break, okay? The church group left to go get lunch. That's fine. That's okay. But one of the refs could stay to run games with us who had still come an hour and a half away from to play the goddamn field. Sorry. God-blessed field. The 2 refs that they had on the field spent much of the game time standing next to each other and checking their phones, hardly stopping talking to correct bad behavior on the field by us sped softers, or fix errors in games like when we spawn camped the first game. They didn't come over to us and say, "Hey, move back a little bit. Their spawn's right there." We had to do that ourselves because we are responsible adults. Allegedly. In their defense, they did cover the rules very thoroughly. There was not a single incident, not one single hostile action between anyone on the field to another. Everything was very polite. Everything was very smooth. It ran nicely when it did run. It's like a BMW. The refs also get a 2.5 out of 5, as they didn't make much of an effort to get games running, or running consistently for that matter. Now, the most important factor out of anything you do in life, except driving, is fun. How much fun do you have? Okay? If you're driving, you're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to get from point A to point B. Having fun means I just downed a 6-pack, okay, and 3 shots of tequila. I'm blasting fucking Leonard Skinner. I'm going down to Buc-ee's because I need some Blue Moon or whatever the fuck shit beer they have. Yeah, that's a good time. That's fun. I'm also gonna fucking die doing that. I'm not gonna fucking die doing this. But did I have fun? You bet I did. For $35, I better have had fun. Despite the short playtime, despite a few mix-ups with some of their regulars, again, no hostile actions, and despite the cost, despite the refs, we enjoyed ourselves. We had a good time going there. I would go again. I will go again. Okay? Wayne, you're probably watching this, Wayne. I'll be back. Okay? I enjoyed myself. This video is not ragging on you. This video is not ragging on your field. You just need to correct some of the ref behaviors. And in my personal opinion, I'm not saying you have to do this, but I'd come more often if you did. Make the field more dense. Put more stuff in the field, okay? The way things are on the right side of the field, over by the road, with all those buildings, that's good. I like that. We like that. Some of the other people who've played at Summertown that I've talked to like that. We want more density. We want less, I can see him 300 feet away. I want less of that. I can see him 30 feet away. Okay? Positive criticism. I love you, Wayne. You're a very nice guy. And I want your field to succeed. I want you to do well as a businessman and as someone who owns one of the most talked about fields down in North Alabama. Here's a picture of us with him.
Monty Python, the Flying Circus!
Dude, this is like perfect meth lab right here. Granger,
Jesse.
we need to cook.
I don't think it's firing.
My name is the Airsoft Preacher. Holy shit.
Please tell me you got that on the camera.
Yes.
Hold on, let's see if I can recreate it.
How?
I do not understand
What the hell did you do?
Nothing. I literally put a short stroke kit in it and put the nozzle spring back in.
You fucked with it somehow. Granger, my name is the Airsoft Preacher. My address is 313 Negro Arroyo Lane,
I'm sorry?
Albuquerque, New Mexico. My brother-in-law Hank has blackmailed me into cooking meth for him. Granger, you having fun?
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
When I can actually find people to shoot, yeah, I'm having fun. Most of the time, I'm just waiting for somebody.
Fair enough.
Now, Summertown also does not have strict rules on